Have you ever wondered why the quietest people seem to command the most attention? Why do those who suddenly disappear seem to grow larger in others' minds? Not smaller? And most of all, what happens when you stop showing up for the world and start showing up for yourself? There is a quiet kind of power in choosing absence, not as a way to run from others, but as a way to finally stop running from yourself. Most people miss this truth. The world doesn't reward the ones who are always available, it exploits them. It drains their energy, consumes their kindness, and mistakes their presence for weakness. When you're constantly saying yes, constantly replying, constantly giving, you're not seen as essential. You're seen as expendable. You become an option, not a priority. But something changes the moment you take your energy back. When you stop distributing your time like it's endless, everything begins to shift. Because absence, it's not weakness. It's gravity. And once you understand that, you'll realize that things begin to revolve around you. Number 1. The trap of constant availability. Society has trained you to believe that the more available you are, the more valuable you must be. Quick replies, showing up on demand, saying yes to everyone and everything. That's what makes you dependable, right? But Stoicism says the opposite. Marcus Aurelius didn't journal to win favor. Epictetus didn't speak to please a crowd. Their strength didn't lie in saying yes. It lay in their restraint. They served with intention, with structure, and with presence. Being endlessly available makes you predictable. Your time becomes background noise, expected, not appreciated. But the moment you begin to withhold, to decide where your energy flows, everything changes. You send a silent but strong message. My energy is something to be earned, not assumed. That's not pride. That's clarity. That's structure. That's the foundation of self-respect. Being always available doesn't make you valuable, it makes you predictable. Stoics knew this well. They served not to please, but with purpose and presence. Your energy isn't free. It must be earned. That's not arrogance. That's self-respect. Number 2. The respect that absence builds. Stoicism isn't about keeping distance, it's about acting with intention. When you make yourself less accessible, people begin to notice the true worth of your presence. Your words start to carry more meaning. Your silence becomes powerful. Your time becomes sacred. Why? Because in an age of noise, stillness stands out. In a world of overexposure, mystery has weight. When you pull back, curiosity grows. When you're not always within reach, people reflect more on your last words. They don't just hear them, they feel them. Epictetus once said, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." When you're always around, people assume they've figured you out. But when you're not, they start listening, they begin learning, and slowly, they begin to respect. Number 3. Emotional control through scarcity. Being less available isn't just about managing your time, it's about mastering your emotions. If every notification controls you, every call pulls you in, and every small crisis shakes you, then you're not living, you're reacting. Stoicism teaches, you either own your mind, or someone else will. When you pull back, you learn self-control, not over others, but over yourself. You become the observer. You stop rushing to please. You stop bending to be accepted. You pause. You choose when to respond, when to remain still. You speak from principle, not pressure. And that pause, that quiet mastery of self, is one of the rarest and most powerful currencies in today's chaotic world. And when you truly master this inner stillness, you begin to lead, not by force, not by shouting, but simply by existing in alignment with your core values. You influence others without even trying, simply by being whole within yourself. Number 4. How detachment creates focus. When you no longer make yourself available to everything, you suddenly become deeply available to what really matters, your purpose, your discipline, your inner life. Picture this: waking up and reclaiming your mornings from mindless scrolling. No more guilt-driven replies. No more wasting breath on explanations for those who never intended to understand. You would become unrecognizable, in the best, most powerful way. Stoicism is, at its heart, a process of removal. It's the art of cutting away what clouds you, so what matters can finally shine through. When you eliminate distractions, you make space, and in that space, clarity arrives. You weren't overwhelmed because life was too heavy. You were overwhelmed because you were too open to all the wrong things. Number 5. The fear of losing people versus losing yourself. Yes, some people will take offense when you pull back. Let them. They weren't connected to you. They were connected to your availability. Your free energy. Your constant yes. Let them go. Because the slow burn of always being available can be destructive. You lose touch with your center. You become everything for everyone except yourself. You abandon your boundaries, your stillness, your own becoming. And here's the beautiful twist. When you stop fearing the loss of others, they begin to fear losing you. Not because you're playing games, but because you've finally remembered your worth. Your value doesn't come from attention. It flows from alignment, from living with integrity, not obligation, from giving with intention, not surrendering to demand. Number 6. Rebuilding with intention. Now comes the challenge. Don't disconnect from the world out of bitterness. Reconnect with it through purpose. Stoicism doesn't teach isolation. It teaches discernment. It asks you to choose your presence with care. Say yes, not out of habit, but out of clarity. Say no, not out of coldness, but out of self-respect. You don't need permission to rest, to walk alone, to unplug. Take time for yourself without guilt. Let silence be your companion. Let solitude be your sanctuary. These moments of quiet intention are where your boundaries are forged. When you live this way, people begin to notice. They stop assuming you'll always be there. They begin to value your presence. Because it's no longer automatic. It's meaningful. It's earned. And the more intentional you become, the more your energy flows to what truly matters. The people and the passions that reflect your best self. The Stoics never feared solitude. They feared disconnection from the self. And the moment you stop being available to everything, you become available to your destiny. You don't need to chase significance. You only need to reclaim your attention. You don't have to respond to every pull from the outside world. You only need to answer the call within. Because the moment you reclaim your time, you begin to reclaim your life. And when that happens, something amazing unfolds. You gain freedom. Freedom to focus. Freedom to build. Freedom to become. So take a deep breath. Step back. And remember, the world doesn't need more noise. It needs presence. Be deliberate. Be quiet. Be powerful. Right finger if this message resonated with you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it today. You're not just watching a video. You're reclaiming your life, one moment of intention at a time.